Welcome back, students. In this session, we would talk about display advertising. Now, what is display advertising? First of all, we need to understand how this is going to be different from normal advertising, which is used as a way to interact with mass audiences. So, when we talk about display advertising, we are referring to the act of communicating the advertisement message using visually rich media. So, what is going to differentiate display advertising from the other form of advertising is that in the conventional sense, we talk about advertising where the mediums that are being used could be the broadcast medium or radio advertising or print advertising in the form of newspaper advertising or the advertisements that you have in magazines and journals. But here we are talking about the advertisement which is having rich media as the content. The main objective is to build brand image by creating awareness, and we know that when we talk about the digital mediums, they help us to not only reach out in a better way but also to perform all those actions that are possible in the conventional marketing space but with a greater effectiveness. So, we are not saying that it is not possible for us to create any awareness through the conventional ways, but here this is going to be a better way in building the brand image that you are going to create through a broader awareness which will be done through the medium. As against the normal or the conventional advertising where the metrics are not possible, and even if the metrics are available, they are more like the post metrics. So, once the advertisement has been aired in whatever medium, then you can just analyze as to how well the advertisement has done in terms of making people aware or doing something. But in case of digital mediums, the metrics are also easier, the metrics are fast, and the metrics can be known at the same time when the ad is being relayed. So, you can, it is a kind of a concurrent way in which you are also looking at how well the ad is doing at the same time when the ad is being aired or when the people are being exposed to that ad in the form of ad impressions and in the form of clicks. So, more the clicks, one can know that yes, it is doing well and people are finding it to be quite interesting and it is serving its purpose. What is going to make an ad look good, or what is going to really categorize an advertisement as a good advertisement in this display space? So, like more and more viewership in the broadcast media, more or more readership or more people being aware after they get exposed to that particular ad. Similarly, when we are talking about the digital space, we are going to look at a strong click rate. So, if more and more number of people are going to click on that, one can say and one can assume that yes, it is a good ad because it is engaging the people, it is making them click on that particular thing and they are not passive to its presence on that medium. It also includes price, especially when you are working on cost per click, CPC model, that the revenue is going to go or the price will be charged only when the user is going to click on it. Aesthetics has also a role to play because you try to match the color scheme of the targeted websites rather than the landing page. So, it overall a good ad, a good display ad is going to lift up the aesthetics of the whole thing because it is going to be more coordinated with the websites that you are trying to target, and you are trying that the users are going to click the ad and that is going to take them to the targeted website. There is always a USP, there is always a unique selling proposition that any advertising tries to communicate to the audience. Now, here you are doing the same thing, even a display ad is communicating a unique selling proposition or a unique benefit, but we find that a good ad is going to convey this particular benefit more emphatically, more forcefully, more convincingly. At times one also show two ads with two offers to the target audience and let the decision being made by them as to which is going to have more receptivity and which is going to be appreciated more by the audience group. When we find the working of the display ad, we see that it is usually divided into 5 broad stages. So in the first stage is the advertiser, and the advertiser is the one who is creating the ad, who is going to create that particular ad copy. So the advertiser in this particular stage has to choose a format, he has to design or create an ad. So all the aspects related to the message, related to how to design it, what kind of template one should be using, what kind of publisher one would be going ahead with. So all this is going to be decided by the advertiser in stage 1. In stage 2, the advertiser is going to contact the publisher that has been chosen in stage 1, and the publisher is going to publish the ad. What do we actually mean by publishing the ad? That you are going to distribute the ad across the various sites, across the various websites based on the targeting and based on what your overall budget is. In the third stage, the website and the role of the website comes into play, where the website has to serve that particular ad. In the form of the website will be showing that particular ad. So you are going to serve the ads through the sites, and that is going to give you the impressions, either the ad impressions or the page impressions. Then it reaches to the customer, where it is going to convert a customer when the customer is going to click on the ad. So what in the fourth stage, it is the customer that has a role to play, because it is the customer who is going to click on the ad. And when you click on the ad, you engage with the ad, and you want to subsequently know what more is there. Maybe you are going to land up on a website page, you are simply going to view that particular ad and may not decide to click it any further. And then in the fifth stage, again the advertiser and his role is going to come into play, where he is going to track the ad in terms of measuring and making use of some analytics to see what were the impressions, what was the click-through rate, which is CTR, what is going to be the conversion, how many conversions have happened as a result of that click, and so on and so forth. So display ads, it is not that it is coming as an impression, it is just coming as a display on your screen, but it is even that particular working is divided into stages where a number of parties are involved, including the advertiser and the publisher and the customer, and then the advertiser again. We find that display ads, which usually come as an impression, they are basically the ads which are being displayed. So they pop up on the screen, or they come as a display which is going to find a certain space on your screen. It is up to the customer whether you want to click on that particular ad and go to the related website or not. What can be the possible benefits of having these kind of impressions or having these kind of display advertisements, and what can be the possible challenges? So when we talk about the benefit side, we find that there is a certain level of influence. It helps you to target the right people who probably may not click it, but still they are exposed to the ad because it is always coming as a display. You are able to integrate a lot of things like the website and the ad, and you are going to have a more coordinated effort which is going along. But again, the strategy is not devoid of certain challenges. Let us first of all talk about benefits, and we find that at times the people or the advertisers, they argue the whole relevance or whole benefit of having these kind of display ads, more particularly when it only comes as a display and probably is not giving you any clicks. We find that some similar channels or some forms of traditional media, they only raise awareness, they only tell you that yes, this is the product or this is service, and therefore especially when it is new or it is a new category, it makes you aware about it. But research has shown that display advertising actually influences buying behavior. because it is letting you reach, it is letting a firm reach a mass audience with a message which more resonates and which more sticks, and there is that instantaneous chance of clicking on it and going, to something else. So though both mediums are used, but when it, as I said, that in order to do it more effectively, sometimes you find the digital channels to be better. Similarly, the display also, it is shown that through various kind of researches, that the display advertising helps you to influence buying behavior better. It also helps you to target your audience in a more effective manner, because there are targeting tools that provide advertisers with a better return on investment, ensuring that your advertising efforts are not going waste, that you are making a focused strategy when it comes to your communication. With tools which are available on or through your display advertising, where you have ad choices in your Google display network, a firm can know that your ads are reaching a specific audience. So it is not that you are just displaying, but you can also target a particular group, and you can also choose a particular group or a network on which you want your ad to be displayed. When it comes to the benefits, we also find that often people use display advertising because it gives a lot of control. You can control where your ad is going to appear. So as an advertiser, you are in a better position of control in comparison to what you can possibly do in the other forms of communication. The firm can also understand and can also gauge as to who is going to see it eventually, how they are going to interact with the ad, and how they are going to be subsequently engaged with your communication strategy. Ultimately, students, the firm actually wants to have clicks that should come out of the ads. If any particular advertisement, any particular display, or any particular form of advertising is not helping you to generate any clicks, or is not helping you to have any interactions or any conversations, then it is of no use. So if you are not doing that, or if your display ad is not able to do that, is not allowing you to really see how many clicks are happening and how conversations are happening, then you are going to lose all control. And by enabling all this, the display ad provides more control to the advertiser. When it comes to display, it also helps you in integrating lot of efforts. When we talk about the display ads, they help you to create the matches, which are going to match between the display and the social media. But we see that lot of display ads, they seamlessly integrate the advertisements that you find on the digital mediums, on the screens, and the ones that you find on the social media, or ones you find on the TV or radio, or maybe even in print. But what one has to always remember is that you have to maintain an integrated marketing communication strategy. That is, the message should be consistent across all the channels and across all the platforms, and display advertising doesn't disturb this integration at all. We also find that segmentation is something which provides, which is taken more advantageously in case of display ads. Any advertiser has to create the ads that are going to satisfy, and that should be able to satisfy the needs of a particular target group, because they would like to pay attention to what exactly you are conveying to them, and whether or not their expectations are coming very clearly in your message strategy. Segmentation also helps you to really bracket and really compartmentalize your different consumer groups and study their behavior. how they receive your ads, how much they are engaged with your ads, how do they interact and react to your ads, what really makes them respond to your advertising strategy, and ultimately what is it that is really making them eventually click on that particular ad. So you can also see that yes, these customer groups are different. Some of them are only looking at the display, the others are also interacting, the others are also engaged with my ad, and there are some who are going to click on that, and what is making them click, and then the subsequent ads can be designed accordingly. However, this is not the only thing. This is only one side of the coin, where display advertising gives you all these benefits, but display advertising also comes with its healthy share of challenges, the most of which comprises of banner blindness. So when you look at the banner ads, with the average user who is served so many banner ads per month, they always come as banner ads on one side of your monitor screen or on the screen of your device. At times you would find that the audience are going to create a filter around them, and they would automatically dismiss your ads. They would be in a way blind to your ads. They are not even going to pay attention to what is coming as a display on the right hand side of your screen. So whatever is coming on it is okay. So they naturally cultivate over a period of time, because there are so many banner ads, people they go blind and they do not actually pay attention to what is coming as a display ad, and as a result you get a subsequent challenge of having the low click through rates. So low click through rates on the display ads, which can be as low as not even 1%, that is 1 in 1,000 audience, may not seem like like a too big a number, but if you apply it to multiple users, maybe lakhs and lakhs of users on the other social media platforms, you would find that the proportion is going to come out to be quite substantial. Also, that 1 in 1,000 could have a branding impact on another remaining people, because they have the capability of sharing that particular ad across their own network, across their own social media pages, and therefore you are going to lose out on a significant proportion of people if you are having a low click through rate. But then we find that the benefits of the display ads often outweigh the limitations or the challenges, and therefore this continues to be a good way of connecting with the people, especially if you want to connect with them with something very basic and you want to create a brand image by providing awareness related to that information in the form of your display ads. Let us now look at what kind of costs are involved for the company who is into display advertising. So when we look at the cost components or the cost terminology, we find that the first kind of cost which is often talked about in the display ad space is cost per thousand, which is also known as CPM. That is where the firm pays for every 1,000 times that its ad is going to appear on a page as an impression, irrespective of whether the ad is going to really end up engaging the user or not, whether or not even the user is going to look at it, or the person who is on the screen is going to even see that particular ad. But the moment it comes on the screen, on the page as an impression, then you have to pay for every 1,000 exposures. The second is cost per click, which is CPC, where the firm is going to be charged when a user is going to click on that particular ad. Or the cost per lead, which is charged for the display, and also at the same time if a user submits its subscription form and is going to, that particular ad is going to give you a lead. There can also be a cost per acquisition where the cost is incurred to acquire or to convert the consumer. There can also be some tenancy or sponsorships where you can go for exclusive ownership of a position for for a stipulated period of time, and for that a fixed amount is charged. So, this is your status, this is your position, and you will be charged a fixed amount for a given period of time. When we talk about the types of display ads, it's not that it is only going to come, any random ad is going to come as a display or as an impression, and everything is going to look alike the same. But there are various ways in which you can really play with the display ads, and you can really make them very, very interesting, like the leaderboards. Now, leaderboards are generally at the top of the page. So, if you see the screen, you would find that the first bar or the first big horizontal box is about the leaderboards, and because they are on the in a way the first messages that the people they obviously perform best, because this is the first line of attention that anybody is going to get or give when the display ads come. So, leaderboards are on the top of the page. Then you come to the mid placement units or the mid placement ads, which are expandable. They are also known as dynamic ads in the middle of the page. So, they are not going to come at the top, but they are going to come at the middle of the page, and you can also move them up and down. They are often animated in nature, and they usually have a higher click through rate than the other formats, because of the very fact that they are placed in the middle of the page, and therefore, the probability that they would be having a higher click through rates goes up. You have skyscrapers and white scrapers, which are areas to the left hand side and to the right hand side of your home page. There are islands, which are small areas, new areas, niche areas that are going to have more static ads, which are not going to change a lot. You can also have the ads which are roadblocks, or which are also called as in tandem ads, which is a combination of two or more ads for the same campaign. So, you are going to make it look more interesting in nature, because that is going to be the same message, that is going to be the same page, but there are going to be two different ads which are going to interject with each other, which are going to be coming across each other, or maybe in a way they are going to take over each other. So, it is an interesting way of actually having your display ads. There can be a home page takeover ad where wherever you look on the screen, there you would see that as if the ad has taken over the entire screen or the entire home page. You see the content which is related to the product, but this obviously is going to turn out to be pretty expensive, because your home page is going to typically take over everything which is there on the screen, and this is going to be displayed. It means in a way you have converted your home page in a form of a display ad. There can also be in tandem ads where two or more ads on the same page, as I said, that they would be animated and they are going to interact and they are going to interject with each other. One can also go for a lot of testing and lot of saving time by really having various multiple versions of the ad which are displayed and which are monitored, and then you can take your call and you can yourself decide as to which ad is going to do better, is likely to give you better results, or is going to offer you a higher ROI, because this often is done by the firm after undertaking lot of research, and you are also targeting with the content which is more specific to a certain group. Therefore, the user we find is often more interested to interact and is more easier to convert. There are always different parts of the display ads that can be put to this kind of split testing, that you are going to really split the ad and see how much it is going to be liked and appreciated by people. You can split it on the basis of the content and check for the content or the price or the creative strategy which is embedded, or the call to action, or the size of the banner ad as such, and so forth. we find that when we talk about targeting in case of display ads, and because you are also testing the ad in case of split testing to know how well it is connecting to that particular target group, your targeting also helps you to understand how your display ad is working. For example, if your targeting option is contextual, that is you are not really going to target any particular position or any particular audience group, but you are going to automatically have the placement of your ad depending on the situation, depending on the context. Now, how your display ads work? There the Google is going to evaluate the keywords that are there in the display ad group, and then is going to place the ad of a particular firm or a company on the websites that are going to match, that are going to be related to this particular context which is being created. You can have managed placements where you choose the specific positions or specific sites where the firm would want its ads to run, to have a better conversion rate or better chances of having a click through rate. Topics, you can also target the ads to websites that include content about some specific selected topics. Maybe you have lot of communities, you have lot of groups that are having members which share the interests, which share the lot of the demographics and the psychographic aspects, and then you can initiate the discussion and see that those websites which are talking about those topics, or those community groups that are really interested in those topics of conversations, then that particular ad can be displayed on those websites or amongst those groups. There can be some interest categories also which can help you to better target your display ads to the specific members, where you would be targeting the ads to users with specific interest. As I said that the member groups can also be segmented on the basis of their AIOs, what is their attitude, what is their interest, what is their opinion. So, depending on their interest categories also, you can based on what kind of websites they visit, what is the frequency of the website visit, and you can start that okay, these individuals or these consumers or these people who are usually on the websites, they are interested in these kind of websites, and therefore if I am using display advertising on those websites, then the chances of having a connect with those members or those users would be pretty high. You can also go for a lot of other ways or other kind of targeted options, like for example, you can have your remarketing strategies, that is you are showing the ad to people who previously also visited your site and you are again and again connected with them. So, in a way we say that lot of targeting is possible, lot of in fact students tracking is also possible when you talk about the display advertising, where one can look into the interaction rate, one can look into the conversion rate, one can look into how many people are really engaged with my display ad. You can also make use of lot of Google Analytics to see whether the user has been converted and whether he has watched a full video or he has used some stop, or whether the extent to which he has paid attention to that, and all this information can really help in future to a firm to minimize the fatigue that can take place for a user while he is being exposed to the ads, and can make use of the display advertising more effectively. Thank you, students. We'll bring you more content in the series of digital marketing shortly. Thank you.